For hundreds of years, today's location had faithfully served its community until one day, during a funeral, something happened that shocked the locals so badly they refused to step foot inside their beloved church again. That is until ghosts pulled them back inside. That church is St. George's in Czechia. This church is old. It's thought to have been originally built in 1352 and is situated in a small Czech village in West Bohemia called Lakova. And when I say small, let's just say in 2021, the population was said to be 735 people. Now, like any small community, when a crisis occurs, it affects everyone. And so you come together. In 1796, there was a fire that destroyed the majority of the church, including the bell. Well, those townfolk rallied together and worked hard. By the year 1800, the church was fixed and functioning again. Due to severe damage from the fire, the organ and bells were left in a state of disrepair. Because of this, all of the metal was melted down and donated to a local hospital. Named after the patron saint of knights and soldiers, in its long life, the church was the centre of the community, a place to hold weddings, christenings, funerals and mass. But one day in 1968, during a funeral service of all things, the ceiling and roof completely caved in on the congregation. Now, luckily everyone got out okay and no one had any lasting damage done to them. But due to what had just taken place, well, the community was seriously spooked. They believed the land must be cursed or haunted, possibly both, and refused to step foot inside the church from then on. I mean, they felt so strongly about this. They held all future services outside. With no one taking care of it, St. George's Church began to decay. Mould started to stretch out across the walls like a cancer, claiming this once holy place. Looters came and ripped the place apart, taking anything that could get them a few extra pennies. But despite all the evidence of greed and destruction, the interior of the church was left reasonably functional. Well, after the tragedy, tales of ghosts had been swirling around this holy property for some time, leading many paranormal investigators to come and check it out. Maybe it was the interest of the community and the murky history of the church itself that inspired young artist Jacob Hadrava to create something for his senior thesis that left some people horrified, while others had their breath simply taken away. Young artist Jacob knew about the history of St. George's Church and the impact it had had long ago on the community. So with this in mind, he decided he wanted his project to be something that would have an impact on the community, a new chapter for the old, dilapidated church. So with the help of some of his fellow students draped in cloaks, Jacob created 32 life-size ghosts. These creations were made out of plaster casts of his colleagues as they were placed in various positions, some standing, others bowed down as if praying, and more disturbing ghostly figures were seen to sort of twist into strange shapes, adding even more of a chill factor. The installation piece was completed in 2012 and named My Mind, and I have to say that is one hell of a senior art project. While the work was being finished, Jacob explained that he was inspired by the 3 million Sudeten Germans who were ejected from the Czech Republic after World War II. These people were forced to find a new place to call home, with many of them doing this in Germany and Austria. After the completion of the art piece, people began to travel from all over for a chance to see it for themselves. In 2013, a video was posted on YouTube which showed the installation inside St. George's Church. It received hundreds of thousands of views. Suddenly, this small town was being given a new chance of life as it got an even wider audience and increase in tourism. But is it just superstition and good marketing that have the people running here? Could there actually be a haunting taking place at this eerie location? Well, since the roof collapse in 1968, many locals believed something paranormal was to blame for the town's misfortune. I can understand why they would feel afraid setting foot on sacred land that in their minds was under attack. What Jacob did for the community was amazing. Take a place that meant so much long ago and give it a new face or a new story. I mean, churches can be creepy to begin with, so add a load of cloaked, ghostly figures tourists, and it's a site that is going to stay with someone for a long time. The disturbing creations will also mean different things to different people. The artist had his original concept, but then there are others who might look at the pieces and think souls trapped in purgatory or something else entirely. Today, this old church looks more like its beautiful old self, mostly thanks to money raised by tourists over the years. Now the church is also used for holding concerts and the occasional mass, as well as being a tourist destination. When asked how visitors react to the creepy scene inside the church, the caretaker at the time, Peter Kaukel, told Lonely Planet, "We had 2 or 3 visitors that refused to enter. They peeked through the door but didn't enter because they didn't feel well about it." Wow. What a fascinating place. Have you visited St. George's Church? And if you did, what was the experience you came away with? Were you creeped out or fascinated by the scene? Let me know in the comments below. I love the idea that Jacob took an old building that nobody wanted anymore and had once been loved. Like an old toy or item of clothing you know you can't use anymore, but you're too sentimental to get rid of it. Well, Jacob gave the church a new purpose. He's turned it into a work of art, something to attract people, interest them, and ultimately create money for the community. This scary, cursed church now has a new face. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, my friends, and until next time, stay safe out there.